Nam Myoho. Hello, folks. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I wanted to address a couple of concerns regarding this video. I want to be absolutely clear here. This word, addiction, has a plethora of meanings in our world today. We live in a world of tremendous confusion, right? Greed, anger, and stupidity. Greed, anger, and foolishness. Depends on the translation. We know anger is about manipulation and backstabbing and all of that, right? And I don't think I have to explain hell or greed. These lower realms, right? The 10 worlds, the 10 realms, the 3,000 realms in each moment. We study Buddhism. And my goal and my commitment to this channel has always been to investigate things from the teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha. So how does that apply to addiction? Let me also say, you can ask me anything. These videos are created either from scholarship or response to your questions. That's essential for our Sangha to work, to be nurturing to our Buddha task, right? So what about this word addiction? This video, and I stand by it, is hardcore from strict practice of Buddhism and how Buddhism views addiction. So I stand behind it because, as you may or may not realize, from the very get-go, the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, our behavior, how our mind works in samsara, from the start is about attachment. It's about the way that we delude our minds to invest in, to identify with stuff. And that's where all our suffering comes from. There's no better definition of addiction than the human condition, samsara. You could substitute samsara for the addicted state. From a Buddhist perspective, right? But here's the thing, and I've said this many times, but let me say it very directly. Buddhism is not magic. Buddhism is not mystical. Buddhism is not magic. What do I mean by that? Buddhism is common sense. Shakyamuni prohibited his students from taking intoxicants of any kinds, a fun plant, alcohol, distilled spirits, other miscellaneous mind-altering chemicals. Why? Because in order to awaken Buddha in your mind, to liberate yourself from everything that causes stress, anxiety, pain, worry, fear, right? That's why we practice Buddhism, to get rid of those obstacles, to clearly experience all of life in its most fundamental form, right? But the determination, the will, the clarity to experience Buddha in your mind cannot be experienced in a fog, in a deluded, in an affected mind. It's just common sense. You can't operate fully as a mind if you're deluded by intoxicants or deep mental states that trap you. right? This is what the 10 worlds are about. The lower worlds are worlds that are very difficult to climb out of. So once again, you cannot have a car accident or bad surgery or whatever, lay that in front of your Butsudan and chant, "Fix me." That's magical thinking. So, I speak as a committed Buddhist to the ideas of Shakyamuni Buddha to help inspire insights in you, in our Sangha, so that we can all, with a clear mind of common sense, attain our Buddha wisdom and attain awakening, attain enlightenment. So, though it kind of bothers me to have to say this, but I have to recognize from my own experience in life, I've done a lot of crazy shit in my youth. I've done stupid things. I've been very arrogant about motorcycle accidents and healing. But even in my arrogance and my stupidity, I got my butt to the hospital. I got a doctor, a trained professional, to fix me, to help get me back to some normalcy. And I realize, having lived these 65 years so far, that not everybody has that innate will, volition. And so now I'm quite grateful that even through all my foolishness, somehow underlying that, I had, maybe it was Buddha nature, maybe it was stubbornness, but something kept me going. And I'm more thankful for that now because with the experience of having friends who are either quadriplegics or addicts of some sort or other, or just deep depression. In Buddhism, that's also a form of addiction. You don't want to get out of it. So for those of us who are in moments of crisis, who are disconnected from our common sense, who are struggling deeply with, I don't care if it's chemical dependence or alcoholism or quitting smoking, which I talk about in this video. If you're not capable or able to find your norm, your rational, reasoning, common sense mind, find that we have a world full of professionals now who have dedicated their lives to helping you get back to normal so that you can make life-affirming decisions rather than life-disaffirming decisions, right? Should you stop your practice until you get back to normal? No, I would never suggest that. But don't treat your practice like it's a magic wand. That's not reasonable. That's not common sense. Right? So please, for those of you who are in a very bad place for whatever reason, there are so many professionals. Not all of them are in the medical industry, but there are professionals who are dedicated to getting you back to normal. And, you know, this is Buddhism 101. Shakyamuni made sure that his students, for years and years of teachings, prohibited bad behavior in themselves, not common sense. They were deluded, as we all are. But if you're not operating from a clear starting point, you're befuddled, you have a foggy mind, you're in a bad place, you can chant to get out of that bad place. But for the same reason as you can't take your broken limb and stick it on the altar and wish it back to health, that's magical thinking. Go to the doctor, get the broken arm or whatever it is, get it fixed. Heal. Chant through that, because that's a common sense approach. Chant for the strength to stay with it. And the more you normalize and get rid of the delusions, the more powerful and enabling your chanting will become. And your prohibition from slipping into that bad behavior again will be greatly influenced by your Buddha nature. So keep chanting, absolutely. But don't depend on your practice to wave a magic wand and take away all your... Remember, all your sufferings, all your delusions are from karma. They're just expressing themselves. And our practice of Buddhism is a profound influence on the formations, right, of those delusions. But it's near impossible to get rid of those delusions without addressing them first. Right? So there's no medical advice here. I'm not a doctor or a medical practitioner. I'm a Buddhist. And so I'm going to treat your questions from a Buddhist perspective. And that's what this video is about. But if you're in some other place that's causing you great pain and distress, seek out. Our human Sangha is full of compassionate beings who are ready and able to take you back to normal, or as close as possible to it. But they don't go door to door. They don't put out flyers. They don't go out looking for you. Some of them probably wish they could, but it's just not feasible. You are going to have to take the initiative. It doesn't take a whole lot to dial a phone, to get somebody to take you to the emergency room. Once you get into the system, once you start to talk to professionals who understand the nature of their difficulty, they will interconnect and the opportunities will come out of the woodwork. Why? Because seeking your way back to normal is your Buddha wisdom. Now, if you're not willing to listen to that Buddha wisdom, who can help you? It starts with you. Please, 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 as I always say, be kind to yourself. Give yourself a chance. Yeah? All right. With all of that, please enjoy the video. I think it's a little bit entertaining, although it's a very serious matter, which is why I did this preface, right? Take care of yourself. Get back to your common sense and your rationale, and invoke Buddha in your mind. With deep, deep appreciation and compassion to see you achieve your utmost in this life, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Hello, everyone. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for your support. for liking. Please subscribe, share if you know someone else who could benefit from the information in this video or on this channel. Addiction. Yeah, that word has a lot of charisma, doesn't it? Probably just lost some of you. I hope not. I hope that you're curious about this subject. I hope that you're not somebody who thinks of themselves as struggling with addiction. If you are, I'm sorry. We are going to clear that up today. Because we're Buddhists. Please listen to this entire video because it's going to take me a while to build a big enough net around this subject to capture all of the entrenched ideas that we're told about or buy into about addiction. Now, by no means am I trivializing this. But Buddhism, at its very core, before Siddhartha Gautama discovered a mind of clarity, which we call Buddha, this was the core issue. He maybe didn't use the buzzword addiction, but Shakyamuni himself talked about habit energy. That's addiction. What is habit energy? How do we grapple with it? How do we seize it by the throat, stare it down, and get rid of it? Because it is the thing that stands in the way of our joy, of our complete participation, involvement, and experience of life. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm not talking about alcoholism. I'm not talking about heroin. I'm not talking about the big business pharmacological complex that when it hears the word addiction goes, money, 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 money. Or the religions that say, we have the answer for you. Participation, money, profit, power. It's inextricable from the modern ideology of addiction. And addicts totally buy into that. Because once again, that ancient fallibility of the human being to run from responsibility. Please don't leave. I know a lot of you went to go click away. I'm not blaming you. This is not a blame game thing. This is a realization thing. And when it was brought up to me again by one of our Sangha, thank you, by the way. I'm not going to even identify the person who brought it up just because of the charisma around this idea. I want to create a broader understanding. And with that broader understanding, my message is to empower you to see what it actually is that you're wrestling with. And I'll give away the game right now. According to Buddhism, that's samsara. Everything we've discussed in Buddhism is about craving, clinging, hanging on to, possessing, having, fear of losing it. Well, you can't have the fear of losing something without first having the craving to have it. This is fundamental Buddhism 101. It's not even 101. It's Buddhism 1. Our entire experience of life in samsara is solely and totally based on possession and fear of losing it. Why would you think that so many scholars, like Shakyamuni, like Nagarjuna, like Vasubandhu, spoke and wrote so prolifically on the idea of emptiness? They weren't talking about the void, you Zen people. They were talking about how our absolute obsession with holding on, thingifying stuff is like grabbing air. Because it's not that the chair, the paintings, the computer, the roof, that they don't exist. It's that they only exist in moment to moment. That by the time we reach out to grab something, it isn't what we thought it was in the first place, because that's gone. Everything is a flow of energy. But the human brain, the human mind, emergent mind, from this samsaric physical experience, is completely fooled by the idea of this is here and I have it and I own it and I lost it. That's the human condition. That is the human condition that Siddhartha Gautama pursued an answer to, because he recognized that this possession and this loss is where all of our trouble is. All of our suffering, all of our pain, all of our anxiety, worry, over-elation, our emotional roller coaster, it all comes from that simple idea of ownership and loss, craving and clinging. You've heard these terms over and over and over. Has it not occurred to you that those are words describing the term addiction? Addiction is empty. There is only one, this wonderful term, disease, has been so misused. But take it apart. What is disease, right? I have an addiction disease. I'm affected. I'm a victim of addiction. Well, who's made you the victim? Think about it. Be a Buddhist for a moment. Dis-ease. Disease. Dis-ease. Not ease. Taking away ease. Buddhism. Craving enlightenment. Craving bad, taking away. Agency. Agency is your ability to affect your own life. Your agency. Dis takes away agency. Remainder, no ease, dis-ease. Ease, enlightenment. Ease, you have agency. So now I'm going to say it, and If it pisses you off, I'm sorry, but don't hang up just because you're offended. Because we've been programmed for decades and decades and decades, centuries, to invite, to embrace addiction. That's how we become members. That's how we become, the word slipped away. Labeled as a certain type of being, a badge of Christian, Muslim, I don't know, think of one, a Boy Scout. How does it become so ingrained in our minds that the minute we hear the second we hear one of these terms, we simply identify a human type when it isn't that at all? That is the work of marketing and corporate greed. And we live in the times of greed, manipulation, and foolishness. So we live in the era of proliferation of addiction. And we buy into it. Oh, I'm an addict. I can't help myself. What? That breaks my mind. But that's what we're sold day in and day out, from childhood on through. I'm the child of an alcoholic. You're the child of somebody who chose drinking more valuable than life. Sorry, but it's not genetic. It doesn't get passed on to you. It doesn't make you any lesser of a human being. You're in control of your life. You're in control of your life. You are in control of your life. If you find it hard to stop doing something that you know is counter to your life, stop it. You're in control of your life. Oh, yeah, but I've seen people in the hospital. Yeah, they choose misery. I know I'm taking a hard line, but please listen to me. You've been fed this mechanism to control you, to profit off of you. This should piss you off. The reason you can't stop smoking, the reason you can't stop drinking, the reason you cannot stop anything is because you're a total slave to your cravings and clinging. Does this sound like Buddhism yet? This is life, my friends. The reasons we suffer, the reasons we have stress, the reason we're anxiety is because we crave and cling. It's the Four Noble Truths. Why are you a Buddhist? You're having a hard time letting go of habit energy? Chant. Change your mind. You are in control of your life. A lot of you are going, God, I get it. And just as many of you are going, you're a dick. Right? Because I'm not buying into your self-loathing. Stop it. You are doing this. Yes, you may be desperately ill because you've craved and clinged yourself into a very bad corner. I understand. There is no more vile potential in the world than the activities of a human being. other than volcanoes and massive earthquakes and tsunamis, the natural processes of the anxiety of the universe. If you look across the spectrum of living things, there's only one that stands out as having the potential of horror against itself and others, and that is human beings. I'm not saying that there isn't such a thing as mental disease. I just abhor the word dis-ease unless you truly understand what it means. It's a decision taking you away from ease. That decision may be genetic. It may be in your DNA, in your karmic and energetic manifestation, right? Like a psychotic. But what we lack in this world today, with all of our incredible science and our incredible knowledge and dissection of the reality of thingness, which is a craving and a clinging in itself, what we lack is a compassionate, deeply profound understanding of the nature of the human mind. Oh, we have psychologists and psychiatrists, all with social behavioral norms as their operating stance. They all talk about how to modify your habit energy to belong, but they never go any deeper than that. They never look at you and go, the nature of the way you form habits is problematic in society, but in yourself. You are a society in yourself. Nobody addresses that. Or they just turn it into gods and deities and things that you have no power over. Always the default position. You can't do anything about it. It's bigger than you. There are forces at work here. These are snake oil salesmen. Just because they have a big pharmaceutical corporate entity and a socioeconomic power doesn't make them right. This idea of addiction as a disease, that's a new phenomena in world human history. Please take a deep breath and think about what's really going on when you say to yourself, I'm an addict. Like the person who stands up day after day in meetings saying, hi, my name is ... I'm an... You've given up your identity to a word? A bundle of this is bigger than me, more powerful than... There is nothing more powerful than you. You are in control of your life. Nothing else, lest you cede control to it. And that's the rub. That's what makes you a cult. That's what makes you a follower of a bunch of rhetoric. That's not you. Don't give up your identity to some buzzword, some condition of marketing, some letting go of responsibility. You are in control of your life. Period. I don't know how many of you have just lost in this dialogue. But if you're struggling with this, please let that struggle be your motivation to go to your altar, your Butsudan, engage your mandala, and chant. You'll see it. You'll see it. It may, in your mind, have to wrestle with your samsaric mind of cravings and clinging, but it'll get through. It may happen immediately. It may take a while. It all depends on how stubbornly you cling. What is clinging? It's habit energy. We like quick payoffs, us humans. We don't really like having to work for things. Some of us like working for things. And even then, when we get there, we just want to start working on something else because we're addicted to, clinging to habit energy of working toward. It's everywhere in our human experience. You're not lacking. You're not better or worse than any other human. We all deal with it. The most productive thing you can do in your mind is decide. Don't just adopt the rhetoric, oh, I'm trying to quit. There's no merit in that. That's advertising. That's trying to get sympathy. That's, yeah, I've been afflicted. I'm a victim. You have to change your mind. You have to go in there and rewire it. Is it easy? Easier for some, not so much for others. Just like Buddhism. Awakening your Buddha in your Buddha mind, Buddha in your mind, awakening that, even with the most amazing tool, just chanting Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. How many of you, ask yourself, have spent so much time trying to tell your Buddha, this is my problem, this is what I need, this is what I want? Trying to shoehorn your clinging and cravings into Buddha. And Buddha's just going, what is that? What are you doing? Right? These teachers who say you could chant for stuff. You could chant for a new job. You could chant. Why would you open Buddha in your mind just so you can get more clinging and craving stuff? Really? It's that black and white, people. You know this. You know this. I'm sorry to be telling you this again. But for some reason, we humans are clever, which is cool. But we're able to know this and then go chant for a new car. It's like we can't help ourselves. I'm a victim of addiction. Well, then you're a victim of yourself. Use those thoughts, use those cravings, use those clinging for their energy, not their context. For their energy, with that will, with that determination. Oh, I know I'm an addict. Okay, take that knowing and determination you just made and go chant. See if some ideas enter your brain that are foreign to you. See if all of a sudden, as you're chanting with that determination, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, why did I just think that? Or why do I just feel lighter? You don't even know, you don't have to know what your thoughts are. What you have to know is your experience. And believe me, when you open Buddha in your mind, there are no addictions. That's the whole point. Addiction is a delusional thought in your samsaric mind. and you simply decide to keep it there. That's the addiction. You've added that habit energy, and you're stubborn about letting it go because it provides a lot of stuff for you. It sounds crazy, but the addict feels empowered by being an addict because he gains so much attention. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, how can I help you? Let me help you get through this. Oh, I know a club where all of us miserable types can go get together. Religions love you. Get addicted to this, then. Get addicted to being here 6 times a week. Get addicted to praying 10 times a day. You'll never escape. That's right, you never will. Because you hadn't made up your mind yet to escape. Buddhism. Liberation. Remember that term? Liberation from clinging and craving, addiction. You want to stop being addicted? Chant Namo Myo Renge Kyo. It's that simple. I don't know how much more profoundly I need to circle around that idea, because you're either going to get it or you're going to push it away. You're in control of your life. Namo Myo Renge Kyo. I love all of you deeply, and I mean that. This is why I want you to get this. Stop victimizing yourself. All the crud that comes along with that decision, that habit energy, isn't to blame for keeping you there. You may have built a lot of crap in your life around that central clinging and craving. And even after you stop, those mechanisms are going to remain in your world. The only thing that's going to continue to get your head above water is to awaken Buddha in your mind. It will affect your environs. It will change your conditions. This is why we chant the Daimoku. This is why we have a mandala. To awaken Buddha, to stop the formations of our habit energy. Yeah? I want all of you to know that. To be supremely confident that when obstacles occur in your life, which are self-manifested, that you go clean it up, that you know that you have a way out. The second and third noble truths. All of our suffering is from habit energy, addiction. We get rid of our addiction, our habit energies, by ceasing the formations of those habits. How do we cease the formations of those habits? Chant. This is Buddhism 101. Yeah? It doesn't matter if you know it intellectually. It matters if you know it in your cells, if you're confident. Oh, crap, I'm going that way again. Let me go chant. Whew, that was close. Almost let those formations become thingified. Real. Yeah? And what do we do when we chant? Get rid of my addiction. No. That's just saying the addiction in another way. Single-mindedly reach for Buddha. Single-mindedly reach for Buddha. Take control of your life. There it is. That's Buddhism. Is this a tough talk for some of you? Is this a like, yeah, talk? Terrific. Congratulations. But we all need to hear it. Because we're constantly in that mode of samsara. I want this, I want that, I want more. I want to experience more. Oh, this will open my mind. Yeah. It'll affect your mind, all right, but it won't open it. It'll just put it in that hole or that box or that bag. It's not opening your mind. It's shuttering it, focusing it in a place of craving and clinging, the exact opposite of what we're trying to accomplish in life. Enlightenment. Get that high that you perceive the world, the life, the universe, yours, for what it truly is, this momentous, constant manifesting of potentials. Get addicted to that. Use your samsaric tool bag of avarice and craving and clinging and single-mindedly crave Buddha in your mind. Yeah. Use it. You can. We all can. Anyone can. It's a decision. Make the choice. Please. Thank you. If you've gone through the video to this point, congratulations, you're on your way. I, for one, am extremely proud of you and grateful because you will affect those around you and they will get the message through your being. Yeah. Take care of your health. Be kind to yourself. Be truly kind to yourself. I don't mean apologetic. I don't mean poor baby. I mean truly kind. Let yourself control your life experience. Let yourself open Buddha in your mind. Let yourself experience life to its maximal potential without cravings, clingings, misguidedness. Free yourself. And hopefully I see you in the next one, yeah? All right. Take care. Bye for now.